I was in the studio with Nip for 5 days. So if you see on the documentary, it's me and Nip in the studio, and we had been recording all night long.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting right next to me, and he talking about, yeah, you ain't gonna get victory lap for free. You got to pay for it. So where in the hell was we beefing at? Like, dude, we sitting in the studio, and I'm promoting his album Victory Lap on my Instagram all the way up until the day he passes.
And you honored him.
And I honored him. So why would I have to, explain that to anybody else when it's there? So if you see it and we know we together, people, like when we leave this interview, it's going to be a whole lot of people telling me, oh, nah, he was jealous. What was I jealous of? I mean.
It's one question I haven't heard nobody ask you, Big U. How did you feel when Nipsey passed away? Because I'm sure that had to hit you.
Man, I was hurt. Physically hurt, visibly hurt. My whole family was hurt. Man, you talking about somebody I raised. Somebody I've been knowing since he was 18 years old. You know what I mean? I watched go from talking about rapping, stealing, killing, all that on the songs, to becoming a man, and then being up for a Grammy, being up for all these different awards, to somebody getting slain on the streets. You know what I mean? He brought me back to music in just one call. You feel what I'm saying? So it was not only was I just hurt, but my daughter was hurt because she knew him. He was just back at our house. My daughter, my sons, my wife. It was you got somebody that you really know, not somebody that you know through somebody else, but our family. This was like our kids. You know what I mean? And
is it true that they didn't you didn't get invited to the funeral? I heard that they didn't.
I was invited to the funeral. Oh, that's inaccurate. Yeah, I was totally invited to the funeral. I was invited to the funeral. Sam and nobody else had no problem with me coming to the funeral. That's another one of the things that was a misnomer. I was too hurt to go to the funeral. I didn't want to see my no casket.
I always wonder how LA street politics work though, because is anybody off limits? Meaning, like, is anybody untouchable?
Nip was untouchable. Nip was untouchable, but you got to figure, like, if you got somebody that's dealing with mental illness, what they say the boy was supposed to have been dealing with, anybody is, all of us. I had this shit. I called you when my son was tripping. You know what I mean? And then my other kids, like, people be tripping, man. Like, you never know where it's going. And then LA, you kind of can tell when it's coming for you. You know what I mean? It's just like any other city, like New York. You can kind of tell when it's hot, and it's no different than nowhere else. But if it's coming and it's gonna get you, it's gonna get you regardless.
Damn.
The youngsters get out, and then they have to have an experience before they realize, I should have checked in. You know what I mean? Or I should have called, or I should have been moving a certain way.
Big U started complaining, like you bringing the red rag to the hood. And I heard you made a diss song about me, Nip. You Nipsey told him straight up, yeah, it is about you.
That's when they got upset, and he made the song. I don't rap.
That song never came out.
It did come out.
It did come out?
It did come out. It wasn't never pushed as a song, but it came out. And I mean, I don't rap, I scrap. And this is my neighborhood, He's supposed to make a diss song about me. Well, I ain't no rapper, I'm a scrapper.
Listen to what he just said. So a diss song was made, and he said, I don't rap, I scrap. Now, pay attention to the other kid that made a diss song against Big U and what happened to him, and how allegedly Big U is being accused of that. Now, it's funny how shortly after that song was put out by Nips, guess what happened to him?
Justice for Nip.
The Bible says bad company ruins good morals.
Roger. Tell these
King Gus.
subscribe to the Prophet channel.
Oh, they got you.